Hi, hello, my name's Sam Harrison. I read, review and discuss fantasy and science fiction books. Today we have a review, but not of a book, of a book reading device. Sorry, that was a bit straight. That was a bit of a stretch. However, today I'm here to talk to you about the biggest and most expensive Kindle in the lineup, the Kindle Scribe. I'm going to be comparing it to the other Kindle models that I have used. I'm going to be talking about the note-taking functionality, and I'll be talking about, honestly, how it is as an e-reader for a voracious reader like myself. And we'll be talking about also kind of just when I use this versus other devices in my house. So, first off, let's talk about, actually, we'll start right there with the use cases. So, I bought this assuming I would hate it and that I would return it. 4 months later, maybe 4 months, 3 months, I use this most days, even on the weekend. So I use this a lot for work, actually, making notes in meetings or making to-do lists. I love that because I can, say, for example, write a to-do list on my Kindle Scribe, and then I can check it on my phone if I'm out of the office at a meeting or I'm at an event. I don't have to have the Kindle Scribe with me to take advantage of how good the Kindle Scribe is for note-taking. I also use it to kind of doodle and do like fun drawing stuff. It's not a good drawing tablet at all. I would much rather use my actual Galaxy Tab for that. But if you want to, for example, I work in marketing, and if I want to do a wireframe sketch, for example, of a website, or show people what I'm thinking when it's talking about some graphic design principle stuff. I'm not a graphic designer, but I do support our team with that because we don't have a graphic designer in-house. So I will often show people what I'm thinking using the Scribe. Now, reading-wise, as you guys know, I am a voracious reader. So I read 52 books last year, and of those 52 books, I think most of them were physically read, but I think I read about 10 of those 52, maybe more, on Kindle. And for the whole month of December, I only read using the Kindle Scribe. So I read multiple books from Kindle Unlimited, or that I owned already on Kindle, and I really, really enjoyed that experience. So the Kindle Scribe, the way that I use it is I use the Kindle Scribe kind of how you would use a hardback book. So when I'm sitting down to marathon some books and some reading, that's when I get the Kindle Scribe out. So the Kindle Scribe, I get that out. I'll either, prop it up on like a cushion or surface or something like that, or I will set this up on the tripod that I'm using to film this video. If I remember, I will pop a picture in here of how I have it set up, and I'll use the page turner, and then I will chill right out. I will lie down on this sofa, I will angle the Kindle towards me, and I'll use my page turning remote to turn the pages. And I have to say, if you are reading on a Kindle and you want to just chill out and really relax, and like you're reading for hours and hours and hours, and you don't want the strain of holding your Kindle, then this is often how I will do it. Then that's absolutely a massive, massive pro for this device. So it's quite a large device. We're talking, I think it's a 10-inch screen, which is similar to, my tablet here, which has got quite a lot, also a large screen, although it's different aspect ratio. And compared to the regular Kindle, which I'm going to review, because I bought the regular Kindle, I'm going to review at some point soon. You'll see it's a lot bigger. I mean, look at that. That is a fun comparison to make. It is also, in terms of kind of construction, probably the best and nicest to use Kindle that I've got. So the back is metal. It's got these lovely feet on it so that if you place it down on a surface, it doesn't wiggle around while you're trying to write. The front is glass, and it's a really lovely matte feeling glass. So the writing experience is as close to paper as I think you'll get. The other thing that I found really, really impressive is, and I'll just switch so you don't need to see my work team to-do list. So the other thing that I think is really fantastic is how smooth and responsive the writing experience is. So like that was basically instant when you write on there. So if you look, watch the pen here, this feels like writing on paper. It feels like writing on paper. I don't know how they've made this magic. I have used a lot of pens and styluses. I've used the Apple Pencil. I've used the Samsung Galaxy stylus that comes with the Galaxy tablets. And I've used the stylus actually that comes with my phone. So I have a Galaxy S23 Ultra, and I use the stylus quite a lot for taking notes. But this is absolutely 100% the best note-taking experience I've had digitally. I haven't tried any competitors like the Remarkable, but I've got a colleague at work who has a Remarkable, and he tried my Kindle Scribe and actually said he thought that it was a more responsive and nicer experience. Also, the build quality on this is a lot nicer than the Remarkable, which feels a bit plasticky. So, who would I recommend this for? So, if you handwrite a lot of notes in your day job or in your just personal life, if you're the kind of person who attends a lot of meetings and writes a lot of stuff down that you want to be able to refer to back, or maybe even to share with others. So, one of the great things about this is I can write a page of notes, open it up on my phone, screenshot that page, and then share it to everyone else in the meeting. So that it's massively useful for work. And it originally, I didn't buy this for work. I bought this purely to buy it, review it for the channel, and return it. That was my entire intention. But I started using it for work because I wanted to test out the writing experience. And then somebody in the office mentioned that we're able to claim back a percentage of purchases that you spend for work-related purposes, and I was actually approved to claim back the majority of the cost for this device by that. So it ended up that I was like, well, if I can pay essentially, because what I had to pay left over was £75, and I was like, if I can pay £75 to get the best Kindle in the range with this incredible note-taking experience and a really, really cool kind of hardback almost reading experience, then I'm going to do it. So that's what I ended up doing. That's why I claimed it back through work, and that's why I've kept it. I don't know whether I would have kept it if I had to pay the full amount for the device. So I got it in the Black Friday sale for £225. I think maybe I'd have paid, I'd say £180 for this. I think £180 is a really, really good price for this. Anything up to £200, obviously your mileage may vary. The amount of money you're willing to spend on electrical devices, on e-readers, might be different. I'm obviously, I am a booktuber. Maybe someday BookTube will pay money, but it doesn't currently. And so the amount I'm willing to spend on book-related stuff that is not just books isn't massively high. So that might be... I do like tech, though, so that might be why I bought this. Do love a gadget. So the reading experience is fantastic. As I've said previously, I'm just going to open up a book so you guys can kind of see. Library... And then I will open up book. So what? Do you know what? I am struggling to find. Here we go. I couldn't find Way of a Dan. So this is Way of a Dan. I'm currently halfway through this book, almost. And I usually read actually. So if you look, this looks like really big font, but because I read on the stand oftentimes with the Kindle, where the Kindle's a little bit further away from me than a book normally would be, I actually read with quite big text. And I have found that using the stand, using this large text, and using the clicker, the remote, I am reading so much quicker when I'm using this Kindle. so much quicker than physical, quicker than my little Kindle. Don't know why, it just really helps me motor through books. So that's kind of what the text looks like. Let me grab you guys out. So I want to show you the map. Where are we? Let's find the map. Because this is taking a while. Okay, here we go. So here's the map. You can see how sharp and high quality the screen is if it focuses on this and not on my face. There you go. So you can see that the quality of the screen is really fantastic. I am a bit closer to the mic here, so I apologise if I'm really loud. Really enjoyed this book, this reading experience. You can also do something that I think a lot of people really like, which is you can read in 2 columns. So I can read in 2 columns, and then I can change the orientation as well. So I can swap to the 2 column view, and this is really close to what reading a book is like. So if you are missing that traditional book experience, then this is definitely something that I would recommend. So if you, for example, have switched, I previous to starting to get more books from the library late last year, I was exclusively an ebook reader because I didn't want to. I don't really like the idea of collecting books that. So I do collect my books, but I only keep my absolute favourites, and everything else gets donated. And so I was reading a lot on e-reader to kind of ignore the hassle of having to find a book cheap, having to donate it. You get my idea. So the experience of reading on the Kindle like this, the Kindle Scribe, has been genuinely fantastic, and I really like it. Most of the time I don't actually keep the pen with it, so it does magnetize to the side here, and the magnet's really strong, and when I go to the office I will always carry it around with the pen attached. But most of the time the pen lives in my work bag, so that it is ready to be used when I'm working, and the Kindle itself will live I have a pile of junk on the sofa, and it lives in the pile of stuff. So it lives with, my laptop, my tablet, my other Kindle. So why would you get the big boy, the Scribe, when you could get something that is probably 10 times lighter and much smaller and more portable? So for me, yes, I have 2 Kindles. I used to have an Oasis, and I actually sold the Oasis and picked this one up. And it seems dumb to go from Amazon's most expensive and most highest quality, and you've seen my Kindle Oasis review possibly on the channel, so it may seem dumb to have gone from that to 2 devices, but honestly I think this is the perfect way round. So the basic Kindle is great for slipping in my pocket to read on the train when I'm going to the pub with friends, or it's great for taking to the cinema to read before the film starts, which I often do. It's great for taking to the coffee shop. So this Kindle goes with me to a lot of places. It also often lives next to my bed, so I can read a chapter before bed every night. If the book I'm reading, I also have the ebook, or it is an ebook version. So that's kind of a mini review of the smallest up-to-date Kindle, but there'll be a full review coming. I was going to film it today, but I think I'll film it next week now. So yeah, we'll see. Anyway, so the Kindle Scribe is an excellent device. I think it's also a massive win for me that this charges through USB-C, because all of my devices are USB-C. The only device in our entire house that is not USB-C now is my wife's phone, because she uses an iPhone 13 and they haven't upgraded. They only just upgraded to USB-C there. So we basically have one charger for her in a couple of rooms, and then everywhere else is just full of USB-C chargers. So I can charge this whenever I like, wherever I like. I've only charged this like twice since I bought it on Black Friday in November. So if that tells you how good the battery life is, I've only charged the little Kindle once as well, to be honest. But I have bought that much more recently. So who should get a Kindle Scribe? So I talked about it earlier, but if you are if you're a big note taker, especially for work, then I would really recommend the Kindle Scribe because it's so easy to share your notes. If you are a kind of bullet journaler, you might find that the writing tools are a little limited for you. So you really only have like pen, highlighter, eraser. There are other tips for the pen, but it's all pen. Do you know what I mean? So you can't do color. It's not great for drawing because it doesn't really recognize pressure in that way as well. So if you want to, say, for example, draw guidelines and then finished lines for drawing, that doesn't really work on the Scribe. So if you're an artist, definitely I would say just get a sketchbook, but also just get an Apple iPad and Apple Pencil, or a Samsung if you want. I don't think the Samsung pens are as good as the Apple Pencil, but they are much, much, much cheaper. So there you have it. Now for readers, the Scribe, I would say, is in a very, very particular segment of the market. So if you are the kind of reader like me who is binge reading, so say, for example, you are reading a book on your Kindle and your evening, you're sitting down at 7 o'clock after dinner and you are reading until 11 o'clock and when you go to bed, which is what I often do, that's when you need, or I would recommend you get, a Kindle Scribe. If you are a more casual reader and you're reading, half an hour to an hour here or there, then I would say you're better off getting something like the regular Kindle. So, that's kind of everything, actually. I think that's everything I wanted to say. It's a bit of a rambling review. I will probably revisit this one later when I've had it for a year or so and do a fully long-term review. So I have had it now for like 4 months, which is pretty long, but I would like to see how it feels once I've had it for a year, see if the battery life is still good, all this sort of stuff. So we'll come back to this in like November of this year probably, and there will be a Kindle 2022 review up at some point. And on top of that, I am going to do a which Kindle should you buy video, and I will try and make sure that I have used the new Paperwhite as well. I'll buy one and return it so that I've got that experience so I can talk about the whole range. If there's going to be a new Kindle this year, that might be a great time to do that. But c'est la vie. I don't want to make Kindle reviews all the time because this channel's about books, not about things you use to read books. But I have been promising this Kindle Scribe review forever, and I finally had a video slot open this Wednesday, so I thought, why not? Anyway, if you've been watching this video, I read fantasy and science fiction books. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, I would really recommend giving me a subscribe. My book reviews are a bit more coherent than this one, but if you're interested in kind of a more if you're interested in fantasy and science fiction books, subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. If you've liked this video, please do give me a like to let me know your feelings. If you have a Kindle Scribe or you have questions about the Kindle Scribe, drop them in the comments down below and I will reply to every single comment. As long as this video stays up, I promise I'm replying to every comment. And if I don't reply to your comment, then you can, I'll buy you a Mars bar. There you go. Thanks so much for watching today, and I will speak to you tomorrow for the Wandering Inn episode 11.